Okay, we're live.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Creativity Camp. I'm Barbara Kaufman, and I steward the arts for the International Charter for Compassion. Today we have with us educational psychologist Dr. Diana Chavez Ketterman, or as she's often called by those who know her, Dr. K, who has come up with a fun lifespan approach for helping us understand ourselves and others in a world where we're facing the challenges of COVID-19. Dr. K and her team of compassionate character champions will introduce us to the character champion kids and their mascots with a valuable story for us all. So here's Dr. K.
Dr. K, and today our team of character champions and their friends are going to share with you an exciting story. You're going to meet Green Owl, who likes to be very smart, Orange Wolf, who's very brave, a blue dolphin, who is as kind as can be, a gold ant, who likes to be very responsible, a gold bee, who will show us how to be safe during the coronavirus, and a purple elephant who will help us learn how to breathe so we can calm ourselves down. So I'm excited to introduce Dr. Lauren as she takes us on an adventure to Character Island so we can be our best selves during the coronavirus and in life. Come with us to Character Island.
We need the script. We need the script.
Yisraeli, can you move the PowerPoint forward? Yisraeli? Oh, thank you.
Character champion, what do you see? Learning about compassion and the coronavirus with character champion mascots. This is Professor Falconer with his walking stick showing you Rainbow Meadowhawk. Professor Falconer and Rainbow Meadowhawk help teach the character champion kids and the character champion mascots how to work, live, and play together with mutual respect and compassion. Character champion, what do you see? I see a compassionate city where I want to be. Character champion, what else do you see? I see a green owl learning like me. Green owl, what do you see? I see us all learning about COVID-19. Green owl, what else do you see? I see icky little germs that can get on you and me. Green owl, what else do you see? That icky little germs have some deadly enemies. Green owl, what else do you see? I see a gold ant who behaves responsibly. Gold ant, what do you see? I see others staying home just like me. Gold ant, What else do you see? Washing hands with soap and water very carefully. Gold ant, gold ant. What else do you see? My own home, which I keep very tidy and clean. Gold ant, gold ant. What else do you see? I see my cousin Gold Bee, who follows rules of safety. Gold Bee, what else do you see? I see others behaving as safe as can be. Gold Bee, what else do you see? That behind every mask is a smile that I can't see. Gold Bee, what else do you see? I see two blue dolphins, as kind as can be. Blue dolphin, what do you see? I see faces showing how I feel inside of me. Blue dolphin, what else do you see? I see us being kind to the people we see. Blue dolphin, what else do you see? I see an orange wolf, as brave as can be. Orange wolf, what do you see? I see healthcare workers being brave like me. Orange wolf, what else do you see? I see that brave kids play inside, just like me. Orange wolf, what do you see? I see a purple elephant, as calm as can be. Purple elephant, what else do you see? I see that we can feel better. 1, 2, 3. Purple elephant, what else do you see? I see my tummy move as I learn how to breathe. Purple elephant, what else do you see? I see kids in their champ zone, just like me. Purple elephant, what do you see? I see us all being kind, brave, smart, responsible, safe, and calm, just like me. Are you a character champion neighbor in your compassionate city? Which character champion mascot is most like you? Are you naturally curious and a logical problem solver like Green Owl? Are you naturally brave, courageous, and bold like the Orange Wolf? Are you naturally responsible, dedicated, and good at following rules like Gold Ant? Or are you a peacemaker, naturally kind and friendly like Blue Dolphin? Here we have our character feathers as well, and you're gonna earn your feathers for your character champions. And do you know also that Character Island is an island that is a compassionate island where all of these characters live, and all the animals on the island live, work, and play together with mutual respect and compassion. So, okay, everybody. Now that you have heard about the mascots and their friends, let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Tara. I'm a friend of Green Owl, and like Green Owl, I ask a lot of questions because I'm very curious. I want to know the answers to everything, and I keep asking questions until I learn. I want to play a guessing game. I'll ask you a question, and you guess the answer. Guess out loud so that I can hear you. Okay? So, I ask, who knows what germs are? Do you? Do you know what germs are? If you guess that they are teensy tiny things that can make you sick, you guess right. You can't see them unless you look under a microscope. That's how teensy tiny they are. My next question is, who knows how germs are spread? Guess out loud. I bet you guess right. They are spread by breathing, talking, touching, coughing, sneezing. No, you can't catch them by thinking about them or by dreaming about them. And you don't have to be afraid of them if you know how to protect yourself. So my next question is, who knows how to protect yourself from germs? There are lots of great ways, and we want to do all of them. Can you call out your answers? That's right. We can wear a mask. We can wear gloves. We can wash our hands often and keep distance from others and use sanitizing gel. We be careful not to touch our faces and not to touch other people while the coronavirus lasts. Doing these things also protects others from getting sick. Wearing a mask is a very compassionate thing to do. When you see someone wearing a mask, it's because they are protecting you and your family. But even if you're wearing a mask, if you happen to cough or sneeze, always, always cough or sneeze into your elbow like this. Okay, here's my last question. Who knows some great ways to stay healthy that also help to prevent you from getting sick? Can you think of at least 5 things? Think about it and then call it out. Number 1, eat healthy food. That means protein, fruits, grains, and vegetables. Number 2, always get a good night's sleep. Sleep not only makes you feel good and healthy, it keeps you healthy. Number 3, drink lots of water. Water flushes out any of the bad stuff that might be in your body and keeps us feeling great. Number 4, it might not be something that everybody knows. It's how to learn to calm yourself down when you feel upset. That might sound hard, but it's easy if you learn how. And number 5, get plenty of exercise. Who knows some great ways to get exercise while you're indoors? Think about it and call it out. Yes, you can do jumping jacks, stretching, sit-ups, push-ups, and other aerobic exercise like running in place. But one of the best indoor exercises and my personal favorite is to dance. So I have one last question. I said who let the germs out?
Who let the germs out? Who let the germs out? Who let the germs out? My name's Andy, and I'm a friend of Orange Wolves. I want to say, let's get up and dance. That's right. Let's get up and dance now. We have a special dance for you to learn. It's called Who Let the Germs Out? Okay. When we say Who Let the Germs Out, shrug your shoulders like this. When we say Who Let the Germs Out, and wiggle your fingers like this to show all the little germs. Okay, are you ready? Let's get up and dance. Who let the germs out? Who let the germs out? We all need to know what we're watching. It's gotta be proactive at home. Until the germs start falling. And there's
and no surprise, I said, oh! Who let the germs out? Who let the germs out? Who let the germs out? Who let the germs out?
Who cares who let the germs out? Nobody let the germs out. What matters is our feelings for each other during this coronavirus. I'm Jan, and I'm a friend of Blue Dolphin. I'm here to talk to you about our feelings. In your coloring book, you have a page that shows some feeling faces. I'd like to practice my feeling faces so that people can know just how I feel. Will you do that with me? Can you show me your happy face? Great. Yeah. That's wonderful. Now, can you show me your sad face? Okay, when you make that sad face, how does that feel inside you? How does it feel when you're sad? How does that feel in your body? Not so good. What about a silly face? Can you make a silly face too? Let's make them together. Okay, pretty silly, huh? Okay, what about a scared face? What does your face look like when you're scared? Ooh, scary, isn't it? Make that scary face. Great. And what about your angry face? Do you ever get angry? Ooh, what does your angry face look like? Yeah, make that face and feel what it feels inside. All that tension, all that, yeah, feel it. Feel what it feels like to be really angry. And now, let's practice a calm face. Do you know what it's like to be calm and peaceful? Let's just take a breath and say, ah, and smile and close your eyes. Try it. Take a deep breath and say, ah, and smile and close your eyes. Do you feel peaceful inside? I do. I love to feel peaceful inside. Now, let's dance. Shall we sing a song? One of my favorite songs, If You're Happy and You Know It. So I want you to sing with me and we'll do the actions that go with the song, okay? So, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're sad and you know it, make a frown. If you're sad and you know it, make a frown. If you're sad and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're sad and you know it, make a frown. If you're silly and you know it, make a face. If you're silly and you know it, make a face. If you're silly and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're silly and you know it, make a face. If you're angry and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're angry and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're angry and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're angry and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're friendly and you know it, wave your hand. If you're friendly and you know it, wave your hand. If you're friendly and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're friendly and you know it, wave your hand. If you're peaceful and you know it, give a peace sign. If you're friendly, peaceful and you know it, give a peace sign. If you're peaceful and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're peaceful and you know it, give a peace sign. If you're calm and you know it, hug yourself. If you're calm and you know it, hug yourself. If you're calm and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're calm and you know it, hug yourself. If you're loving and you know it, blow a kiss. If you're loving and you know it, blow a kiss. If you're loving and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're loving and you know it, blow a kiss. And back to, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And now we are going to hear from Gold Ant.
And I am a friend of Gold Ant. Like a gold ant, I happen to be very clean, tidy, and responsible. So I'm an expert when it comes to washing my hands during coronavirus. Do you know there are 7 steps washing our hands as recommended by doctors and pediatricians? So I made a video to show you those steps. Are you ready to watch the video with me? Here you go.
All right, kids, let's wash our hands. Turn on the tap with our wrist, wet our hands, grab some soap, and not waste any water. And then we start rubbing our fingers and hands in between the fingers, get both sides, and make sure you get everywhere in between those fingers. Next, we make sure we get our fingernails and get underneath every part, and then in between our thumbs. Make sure you get both sides and all of those fingernails. And then next, our wrists. Get every single part. Then we turn on the water and rinse those hands. It can take a little bit of time to do this, so you can sing your favorite song. Maybe the song that you sing when it's on your birthday. Dry those hands with paper towels. 1 paper towel for each hand and your wrists. And then if you're in a public space, use a paper towel to open that doorknob.
And that's it. So do this at least 5 times a day to stay healthy and well. Always wash your hands this carefully after coming in from the outside. Hey, I see that Gold Ant's cousin, Gold Bee, is coming our way. Hey, Gold Bee.
Hey. Hey, Gold Ant, cousin. Hey, I'm Kelly, and I'm a friend of Gold Bee's. We both are experts at following the rules and staying safe. So to practice with you, we're going to play Goldbee Says. It's just like Simon Says, but instead we say Goldbee Says. The rule is, if I say Goldbee Says, then you do what I say. The other rule is, if I tell you what to do without saying Goldbee Says, then do not do it. Okay, are you all ready? Here we go. Goldbee says, put on a mask. Did you do it? Yeah, very good. Goldbee says, phone your friends and family. Good job. Rub your eyes. Nah. Did you try to do it? No, of course, you didn't do it at all, right? Goldbee says, go for a walk outside. Yeah, that's okay, as long as you wear your mask when you're supposed to. Goldbee says, give the peace sign. Good job, I love it. I saw that. Goldbee says, stay far away from others. Right. During the coronavirus, at least, we need to do that. Okay, touch your face. Oh, Goldbee didn't say. I know you didn't do that either. Goldbee says, cough and sneeze into your elbow. That's good, just like that. That's right. Goldbee says, dance to the music. Get some exercise. Yay! You guys did it, of course. Of course you can dance. I love it. That was fun. Thanks for playing. Now, after all that playing and dancing, I want to calm down. I want to know how to learn to be calm. Oh, here comes someone who can teach us how.
Hi, my name is Susan. I'm friends with Purple Elephant. I like to be calm. When I'm calm, it's easy for me to be compassionate. Do you know what compassionate means? Compassionate means when you're able to understand how you and others are feeling, especially when we're not feeling very good. Then being compassionate means you do things to help others feel better. It also means that we have to be kind and gentle to ourselves, especially when we're having a hard day. It isn't always easy, though, to be calm and kind and compassionate, though, is it? I find that the best way to manage how I feel is with my breath. We breathe all the time, but did you ever notice that when your breath changes, when your feelings change? When you feel sad, your breathing is short. And when you're angry, your breathing gets very fast. And when you're scared, breathing also gets very fast. The same way that our breathing changes when our feelings change, we can change our feelings using our breathing. Would you like to try? Okay. So now, with our friend Purple Elephant, we're going to do something called belly breath. So first, you have to go and find an object. Your object can be a toy, it can be a teddy bear, it can be a block. Ideally, you want something soft, not too heavy, and not something that's going to break if it falls down. Do you want a moment to go find your object? Okay, I'll give you a few moments. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lie on your back and you're going to place the object on your tummy. And now When you breathe in nice and slow. Completely fill your tummy. Look what happens to your belly. Your object is lifting up. And then when we breathe out, again, nice and slow so the object doesn't fall off. The object comes down. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to try this a few more times with your eyes closed. I'll count for us so you don't fall asleep. Okay? So we'll take a deep breath in. And slowly breathe out. And breathe in. And out. And in. And out. And last one, breathing in. And slowly breathe out. How was that? Thumbs up if you feel more calm. So, it's not easy to always feel calm like we do now. You know when it's especially hard to stay calm? When someone is pushing your buttons. Having someone push your buttons is like when someone is doing something to make you feel in a certain way. They might be teasing you to make you feel sad or challenging you to make you feel mad. I want you to close your eyes and think of a time when you had your buttons pushed. Okay? It might be that your brother or sister was taking the toy that you wanted to play with. Maybe your mom was asking you to clean your room over and over and over again, and really you were just feeling tired and didn't have the energy to do it. I want you to also think about, how did you react when your buttons were getting pushed? Did you get mad? Did you feel sad? Okay, now we can open our eyes. When we let somebody else make us mad or sad, it doesn't feel very nice, does it? What happens to our breathing when this happens? If we're sad, it gets really slow. If we're mad, it gets really fast. Sometimes we even cry. I cry when I'm sad and also when I'm mad, because both of them make me feel really bad. Now, what about if we tried to breathe when someone was pushing our buttons? Even just a few breaths can help us stay in control of our feelings so that we don't get mad or sad. And that's when we're button proof. Do you want to learn another breath that you can do anywhere, anytime? Okay. So this breath is called straw breath. First, you take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, you're going to breathe out as if you're breathing through a straw. So your lips are going to make a tiny circle as if you're whistling. You can even use a real straw and pretend it's an elephant trunk. So we're going to do this 5 times. So you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So we'll breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and out. in and out. And just take a moment with your eyes closed. Just feel how you're feeling. Just notice if it's a little bit different than it was before we started breathing. And then you can open your eyes. Beautiful. I feel much more calm and very, very happy. I hope that you do too. Oh, look who's coming. It's Rainbow Meadowhawk, who's come to reward us for learning how to be calm, safe, kind, smart, brave, and responsible.
Hey, I'm Erica, and I'm friends with Rainbow Meadowhawk. Rainbow Meadowhawk flies all over Character Island, looking after all the animals you've just met, teaching them how to be safe, smart, responsible, brave, kind, calm, and compassionate. Rainbow Meadowhawk gives the animals its beautiful champion feathers to reward them for their outstanding qualities. You can also earn champion feathers. Now, Rainbow Meadowhawk can't give you one of its own champion feathers right now, but you can make them for yourself so that someone who takes care of you can reward you when you show really great champion qualities. Let's look at them, shall we? They're in your coloring book. When you show one of the champion qualities, you'll color in the feather for that quality, cut it out with adult supervision, and tape it to your wall or your refrigerator. Or you can make a beautiful feather crown with paper and tape like this one. And you can decorate it with ribbon if you like. Your coloring book feathers are bigger than these feathers, so they're easier to color in. When you show that you've been following rules of safety like Gold B, you color in this feather right here. And we use a lot of gold to show that we've been safe. When you've been responsible like Gold Ant, you color in this feather, also using some of the color gold that we use to symbolize being responsible. When you've been smart, like Green Owl, you color in this feather right here that we use to symbolize being smart. And we use some green to show that we've been learning and we've been smart. When you've been very brave, like Orange Wolf, you color in this feather right here to show that you've been brave, like Orange Wolf. When you show that you've been kind, like Blue Dolphin, you color in this curly feather right here to show that you've been kind. And we use some of the color blue to symbolize being kind. When you show that you've been calm and compassionate to yourself and to others, like Purple Elephant, you color in this feather right here, using some purple that we use to symbolize being calm and compassionate to yourself and to others. Now, this is a very important feather. When you've been able to calm yourself down after you've been angry or upset or mad, you earn a very special feather. It's this one right here. And you get to color in this feather any colors you want. You can see that this one has polka dots. Last but not least, when you've earned all of the feathers, you color in this big feather right here. It's the biggest feather of all, and it's Rainbow Meadowhawk's favorite feather. It shows that you've earned all the other feathers for being safe, responsible, smart, kind, brave, calm, and compassionate, and a real champ. It's a challenge to earn this feather, but I know you can. When you've earned Rainbow Meadowhawk's feather, it's proof positive that you are a compassionate character champion.
Oh, that was so much fun. Thank you, character champions, and thank you, Dr. K, for reminding us that those superheroes live inside of us. The character champions live inside. So all of those people that you just met are doctors and professionals with big hearts who work with kids at their clinics and organizations in Pomona, California. And they are Charter for Compassion members and members of Compassionate Pomona and Compassionate California. If you don't yet have your coloring book, go to the Charter for Compassion website or have a parent do that for you, and at charterforcompassion.org, and scroll down the homepage to find the link under Creativity Camp and the Charter Companions. You can also go to characterchampions.org or look for Character Champions on Facebook. You know, it doesn't matter who let the germs out, but it does matter how we cope with them now that they're here. So to the kids in the room, I'd like to take a few moments now to talk seriously with the doctor champions who are here today, and to the grown-ups about those germs, how to cope and stay safe and healthy. I want to introduce our panel of doctors. We've met Dr. K, who's the creator and author of Character Champions, What Do You See? She's a licensed educational psychologist and CEO of the Character Champions Foundation. Hello again, Dr. K.
Hello out there.
Also with us today is Dr. Lauren Costin, who is our narrator and story reader of Character Champions, What Do You See? Dr. Costin is a clinical psychologist and a board member of Character Champions Behavioral Health Foundation.
Hi, everyone.
And our third panelist is Yisraela, or Izzy Heyman, who's a marriage and family therapist, and she's CEO of a sister foundation, Character Champions Behavior, Health, and Wellness, and she's the webmaster for Character Champions. So now if you have questions for our panel, you can put them in the chat room. If you hover your mouse down at the bottom of your screen, the chat room will show up and you can put the questions in there. While you're doing that, I do have a couple of questions of my own for these Dr. Champions. So I'm curious to know how this inspiration landed for you to create a coloring book for children to help them comprehend the pandemic and to do their part to be cooperative and helpful and not spread the virus. Do you care to expand on that?
Well, if the panel doesn't mind, I'll take that one because it's a cute little story. So when my kids were little, my mom and I read to them, Brown Bear, What Do You See? And it was one of their favorite stories. And then they ended up reading it to their kids now, because now I'm a grandmother of 7. And what has happened with this is I saw a movement where we were having kids look for bears in the window. And I thought, oh, I'm going to make a coloring book for my granddaughter. Well, I mentioned it to Jan Chase, and she said, why don't we give it to all the children of Pomona? Because I'm a member, along with the other people, of Compassionate Pomona. And then from there, Joanne Gaines said, let's take it to California. And from there, Barbara said, let's take it to the world. So talk about spreading compassion instead of coronavirus. This coloring book that we're bringing to you is the direct result of that. And so that's how it got started.
Thank you, Dr. K. What a wonderful team you have, and what a wonderful collective of people, huh? It's beautiful. This has been beautiful. So I do have a little bit serious question for someone who wants to take that, and that is sometimes, people don't always follow the rules. So as this pandemic continues and we try to rebound from this emergency, some people will not follow the rules. They will not wear their masks. They will not keep social distancing or follow the advice of science and medical professionals, and they may even bully those people who do follow the rules. How can we explain this lack of compassion to our children in a way that is useful and healthy?
Well, Barbara, I think that's why we created the coloring book, so that we could teach kids and parents and the world that we need to be like the animals on Character Island. You can see I have my therapy dog with me, Juntos, who jumped in my lap right as we were getting ready to present. But I thought, how nice it is, because, we really have a responsibility to remember what it is to be compassionate. And what we wanted to do with the Character Champions Wellness Framework is be able to give everyone the opportunity to learn about it. And so, especially for young children, we can say to them, we need to help him learn or her to be more like Blue Dolphin. And we need to help so-and-so be like Gold Ant or Gold Bee, so that we're all in this position of learning, and kids understand that it's the lack of the development in character that they're seeing, and then ask our little ones to rise up to be character champion kids, so that they feel like they have power and they have a way to combat what we used to call the extremes, because when you don't act like a character champion, it's called the extremes. And I remember we have different levels to character champion, but I think you'll find this interesting. When we were doing this as a school-wide program at Behar Elementary in Walnut, and 9/11 happened, one of the fourth graders came to me and she said, "You know what, Dr. K, the extremes are real." And I remember just spontaneously telling her, it's okay, the character champions are stronger. And who would have ever guessed we'd be part of your compassionate movement now that we're being attacked by a pandemic and a germs. So I think that's the message here, and that's why it's free, because we're all faced with the challenge of rising up and leveling up our character to be character champions. Does anybody else have anything to add?
Well, there is a question in the chat room from Pamela. She's asking, is there anything in this work to help kids deal with illness if it hits their family? Or do you have recommendations for that?
Lauren or Yisraela, would you like to speak?
I think, part of the issue is that with the coronavirus is there's a lot of fear of the unknown. And when humans are dealing with uncertainty, it's very, very scary for them to deal with. And particularly as parents, Lauren, can you take it?
Yeah. So I think, obviously everyone's dealing with uncertainty and that continues, right? But if someone in your home gets sick, of course you follow all the guidelines first of quarantining them and making sure that everyone else in the house stays as safe as possible. And if it gets worse, of course, call medical and all of that. And, what's most important when you have your children at home for all this time, and you as parents are also dealing with this situation yourself and having all of these different feelings that we just discussed today, the extremes, for instance, we have to just continue to work on ourselves, right? And not bring that our own difficulty with feelings or dealing with fear or anxiety or whatever too much into the house, too much to our children. we explain things to them, or we ask them questions, and we say enough, right? But we also have to continue to hold on to and take care of ourselves as much as possible, so that the children can continue to feel as safe as possible in such an unprecedented time. And the reality is, we have to be so compassionate with ourselves, because every day is new information. This is such uncharted territory. We don't really know, and there's new information every day. Oh, we're opening up in July. We may not open, but so, just, and I love so much the compassionate piece, and then bringing it to ourselves in all of the ways that we just learned today as well, from the breathing piece to finding those parts inside of yourself, your kindness, your bravery, your responsibility, bringing those all together and making that a part of how you operate in your home, so it doesn't create chaos inside.
I think also a lot, kids pick up on their energy of their parents. So if the parents are very anxious and nervous and worried, then kids will pick up on that. And very often young kids are not, they don't understand what's happening. And very often kids will make meaning of what's happening and interpret it in very young, childlike ways. And the problem with that is that when they do that, very often they will go through life, let's say something happens and it feels very unsafe. So they'll learn, I need to control my environment by doing X, Y, and Z. And then what'll happen is they will start to become very, try to control things around them. And then they'll bring that into adulthood. And when they bring it into adulthood, very often they're not aware of these unconscious behaviors driving them.
Yeah, that's a big piece. So I think, and everyone who's listening to this is obviously more aware, more interested in teaching their children all these wonderful ways of learning about themselves and how to be a character champion. And adults can do all of that too. So if you're even here at all, that already shows a level of consciousness to me. And if you send this off to your friends and you spread the word, right? Like, there's so much ability to work on those things that are very difficult to do, and handle the feelings that are difficult to handle, and use the tools that were just illustrated today, so that you can model compassion in your life and to your children, and create, right, Israela, create a less anxious environment.
Absolutely. And I think that part of it is parents really doing their own inner work and really learning how to identify their own feelings, because if parents aren't aware of their own feelings and they're unconsciously acting out of fear or rage or anger, then the kids if they're acting it out, then the kids pick that up, and the kids don't, the kids will do that.
Yeah. It'll be it can be a traumatic environment then. And then
it can be traumatic, and they don't know what to do with that. And, very often, like, one thing that I do with my clients is that I teach them about something called the champ zone. The champ zone is basically when our nervous system is operating in an optimal way. We may be a little bit up or down, we may feel a little more energy, a little less energy, but generally we're pretty good. But what happens is we can get bumped outside of the zone. And if we get bumped up outside of the zone, we may be, and this is illustrated in the coloring book, we may be very anxious and upset and agitated, or we could get bumped down, which means that we're very shut down and sad and emotional. And what happens is, when our nervous system is offline, when we're outside the champ zone, our nervous system is offline, and we're not operating optimally. So what happens is, let's say you have a child and the child is screaming and yelling and throwing a tantrum. You know, that means that their nervous system is dysregulated and they may need help bringing their nervous system back in the zone. So often parents will hear the kids screaming and yelling and they'll start getting upset back and getting agitated and getting triggered. But if the parents can stay calm and centered and find out what's bothering the child, because often what happens is when we're, you know, throwing a tantrum or expressing anger, often anger is a secondary emotion. And underneath anger is usually fear, pain, guilt, shame, or hurt. But they have difficulty expressing that. So we need to help kids learn how to express those emotions. But they're often more vulnerable, so it's harder to express those. So we need to help kids learn. And part of that is by ourselves being in tune with what emotions we're feeling and identifying those emotions. That way, when a child is acting out, we can say, honey, you know, what's really bothering you, rather than yell at them for misbehaving.
Yeah, and I found also in that sense, not necessarily when they're really angry are they able to have that conversation. It's, you know, obvious. It's all about calming down, maybe even giving them a lot of space, or, you know, holding them when they're ready to be held so that you can help them regulate their central nervous system. And I found also kind of at night when children are sleepier and you're tucking them into bed is a good opportunity to have, because sleep induces in all humans more openness and receptivity to hearing or talking about things that are often difficult when we're kind of revved up or in our day mode. That's the opportunity to say, do you think you know what was happening? You know, or if they can't, you know, or you, and then you teach them the words as Character Champions does. Teach them the words. Are you sad? Are you mad? Are you afraid? And, you know, all of that. And then you can reassure them as much as you can that you're the adult and you're taking care of the situation as best you can, right? That they can stay a kid as much as possible during this. Yeah.
And are all feelings okay?
All feelings are okay.
Okay.
It's not feelings that are good or bad. It's how we express those feelings. So one of the things we always tell kids is, yeah, you get to be angry. Mom, dad, teachers get angry too. Adults get angry but when we get angry, the important thing is that we don't hurt self, we don't hurt others, and we don't destroy things. And so that's why it's good for them to know that they're not in the champ zone. And we have a way that we call it, that we learned from our friends at Sky Breathing, that you can be in your wizard brain or in your lizard brain. When you're in your wizard brain, Professor Falconer, you know, you really stop and observe and ask yourself, are you acting smart? Am I acting kind? Am I acting brave? All the champ questions that are in the coloring book, that we now know that when we're acting like a character champion, we're really being our best selves. And what we're doing is we're rising up, we're leveling up our character to act compassionately. To act compassionately is to do all the actions of all the mascots. And usually, Barbara, it's very hard for children to understand these abstract concepts. Dr. Chavez said, oh, we wouldn't be able to do it until we're over 12. But we found out by finding simple, concrete ways and making it fun, where you have an animal who helps you learn, much like Juntos helps calm me down, that we can make these abstract concepts more simple. And what I found is even the adults start using them too. So it's nice sometimes to have something that's very adult that goes down to kids as young as two or three.
I just want to pick, oh, go ahead, Israela.
I think also, if you know, the situation, kids have such a lack of control. If there are ways in which they can have some semblance of control, even in little ways, even if it's like even the illusion of control and we can give them choice, I think that can be helpful. For example,
Very helpful.
when my son was young, I used to say to him, Ellie, would you like to go to bed now or would you like to go to bed in 15 minutes? And of course he would say, I'd like to go to bed in 15 minutes. So I'd say to him, okay, you can go to bed in 15 minutes, but it's really important that, you know, you respect this agreement that we've had and you actually go to bed. And I found that I didn't get as much of the pushback with going to bed when I was trying to be more collaborative and kind of treat the kids with mutual respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because so often parents think, oh, when they're young, I can just boss them around and their kids, they just have to listen to us adults. But what happens is as they get older and they become teenagers, then they start to really push back. And if you don't have a relationship of mutual respect and understanding and real true respect, where you treat them like real human beings, then that's often when we get in trouble in teenage years. So that mutual respect, I know they're just kids, but it's so important because we're modeling to them how to be in the world.
Kids are people too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a few questions about the coloring book, and I will go over that. And then, so this model with the colors can be used in other areas of your life. And can't parents use that sky braiding that you were talking about to help us calm down when we're upset?
I think that's what's so cool about this because, again, it's an adult model made simple for kids. It's not a kid model grown up for adults. It's the opposite. And all these techniques are ways that we know calm the nervous system and really help us raise our social emotional learning skills, which I know now, especially teachers are looking for resources and parents are looking for resources. Because, you know, there's a lot of competing programs and the Character Champions framework is meant to be a bridge between all of them because especially the 4 basic colors, the blue, the green, the orange, and the gold, we know all to natural character preferences inside ourselves. And that's why if you go to characterchampion.org or Character Champions Foundation on your screen, you can actually take a survey to find out your natural character preferences. So this existed before coronavirus, but you know, the Character Champion people that I work with really wanted to level up Character Champions in the sense that, Barbara, we really know it's about creating the earth to be a compassionate island where we all work together and live and play with mutual respect. So I hope that helps.
I'm all for that.
And I'm also creating a website with lots of resources. It's not quite live yet. It's in the process of being made, but we'll have blogs and videos and parenting and relationship stuff for adults. So we'll have all sorts of resources on that website, and that will be live within the next few weeks. I mean,
Great.
It already is live, but it will be much more full.
So I'm going to call your attention then to everyone to what is on the screen if you want to find some of these locations. CharacterChampion.org, Character Champions Foundation. The Charter for Compassion is charterforcompassion.org and CompassionateCalifornia.com and CompassionatePomona.com. So I wanted to ask about, we can talk a little bit more. And what I wanted to ask about, what fears do you think children might have right now? Is it difficult to conceptualize something that you can't see, something that's invisible? And children living in the now can't anticipate something so far in the future. So how do you handle that as a parent?
Well, I mean, I think that you kind of as I said before, you explain to them the bare minimum that they need to know, you know, and you can be honest. You can say, we don't know that much. It's everyone's learning almost on a daily basis, but I'll let you know when you need to know. And literally they're going to give you 30 seconds for that information anyway, and then run off. So you're kind of just planting these little seeds. And I think what's so important is the way you deliver it and how you deliver it. And if you do it in sort of a lighthearted way, and not a serious, anxious way, they're going to be like, okay. And, you know, like I talked to my stepson this morning, and I'm like, so, and he's very talkative, so it's very helpful. And I was like, so, you know, how are you doing? He's like, well, I'm fine because I'm in the house all the time, so I'm not scared. You know, so I think you can just also ask them, like, how is this for you right now? And see what they say, you know. And if they're like, I'm really scared of the germs, then, you know, you can ask why, find out why, go over a lot of the safety measures we just went over today that we all are learning, and kind of reassure them that, you know, we're just doing the best we can, and you've got their back, right? You're their protector, and you love them, and you don't want, you know, I think all of those kind of things.
And I think it's important when you know, as a school psychologist, when I was working with kids, we'd have kids who showed a lot of fears for a lot of different reasons, not just around coronavirus, but it was really helpful for them to know, oh, I can act like Orange Wolf, and you can have Orange Wolf be like like in Jiminy Cricket for Pinocchio, Orange Wolf is your little coach who helps you learn ways to be brave. And I think that's what Andy was, the friend of Orange Wolf, was trying to show with his son, is that we all have this Orange Wolf energy inside of us. And if we can access that in times of fear, it helps us level up our orange, or level up our bravery component. And that gives kids a lot of hope to know that we can act like these mascots. And these mascots not only help kids, but help people of all ages to show these attributes or these character qualities more in our own personality.
And what I also do is I work a lot with clients. I work primarily with adults who have PTSD and trauma.
Mhm.
I do EMDR, and EMDR, what I do is before we do the actual processing of the trauma, I teach clients how to find as many internal and external resources as possible. So I'll have them really imagine like a safe or peaceful place, or I'll help them find wise figures, nurturing figures, spiritual figures, protective figures, and I have them go inside and really imagine the strengths and the qualities of these resources, with the idea of kind of, you know, like really internalizing them. So when we're doing the processing, we can really bring this up. And so too, in a time like this, we can do that with our kids. And I have people tap on themselves and just close their eyes and do that. And that way I find people can really help them calm their nervous systems down.
And one of the things that I found that works really well after my colleagues and I also learned EMDR, EMDR uses bilateral stimulation, which is just left-right. But what that's really doing is, like sky breathing, it's helping us calm our nervous system. And we don't know ways to naturally calm our nervous system. So they actually know that after trauma, after crises, that just this left-right progression of tapping while imagining a peaceful place is very, very calming. And research shows that it really does calm down the nervous system. And we've sort of lost, most of us are older, coloring, But now with technology, kids aren't doing as much coloring with crayons. But with the coloring with crayons, if you think about that, coloring now we're finding is very therapeutic. It's a bilateral stimulation because you're crossing the midline. And I just want to share, as a grandmother, one of my most peaceful times with my granddaughter Flory is she'll color one side of a coloring book and I'll color another side of a coloring book, or we'll color together. And especially during coronavirus time, you know, we need ways that we can be calm and loving and engage with our children in a way that also helps us esteem our own inner children inside, because we all have a little blue part of us, a little green part, a little gold part, and yes, we all have that wild orange part that when we're around people that are high in that energy, that we can bring out. So I think that's really, really important. And I know there's a lot of temperament models out there, but like hands, we believe it's about character preference. And I don't want to go around life with just a right hand being right dominant. I also have a left hand, and I really believe two hands are better than one. So Character Champions is about seeing all the parts of us as different factors or facets of our character. And we're talking about character rather than temperament, because we know that's the nurture part of us that we can develop. And so if we all level up our character to champion levels, like I said, we, like the animals on Character Island, we as people can start using color to unite us rather than divide us. So we're really grateful to join with the different compassionate organizations around this idea of spreading compassion, not COVID.
This is wonderful. This is how it works, right? Teamwork.
Yeah, and I just wanted to kind of say, to piggyback on that, you know, for all the parents out there that are having, you know, are struggling. Maybe some days are better than others. I know that it's been very up and down for all the folks that I am working with or just connecting to in my life. Like, some days are good, some days are bad. And just, you know, to bring, like, through that inner work that I also am a big proponent of, is the self-compassion. Like, this is such, no one in modern times has been through anything like this, right? And this is nothing, I mean, we just need to bring so much compassion to ourselves every day, because if you're having, quote, a bad day, that's not the time to beat yourself up, right?
Right.
Like, if you're having a hard time, because that will impact, if you're out of your champ zone, if you're feeling up, a lot of people are feeling a lot of anxiety or then feeling down, just really bringing that compassion and using, and you know, as Dr. K was saying, when we start to really understand, if you go in and do the test and you start to really understand these different aspects of yourself, what is your most normal, I mean, your most dominant color to your less dominant color, but how can you start working with them all? So you do that as an adult, and then you bring that to your children, and you can kind of work on it together. It can be a family activity. You know, you start learning these things about yourself, and that self-awareness creates more self-compassion, creates more compassion in the world. Absolutely. You know, it's kind of like this very big connection that goes forward and outwards. Does that make sense, Barbara?
Yeah, and I'm thinking there's so many things families can do. Like, our minister created something called social distancing, right? Social distancing. So you can dance with your kids, or, you know, I just thought of something. Maybe, you know, you can draw a mask and make the masks and put the masks on and act out the play. I mean, it would be so much fun to do that. So, I mean, there are all kinds of ideas. And if you have ideas about this, please tell us at the Charter for Compassion. You could reach me at barbara@charterforcompassion.org. And again, the characterchampions.org is a website you can go to, and they have a link to the coloring book. The Charter also has a link to the coloring book. The Character Champions Foundation is at characterchampionsfoundation.org. And then there's Compassionate Pomona, which is a compassionate city, and Compassionate California, which is a whole state of compassion. So it's spreading, right? We're doing it.
We're doing it, and I just want
It's
to
amazing.
know we're .org on Compassionate California. They're nonprofits.
Oh.
That's one of the things, if you don't know, whenever you see a .org after an organization, it's a techie way of knowing that they're a nonprofit. So please note out there that it's compassionatecalifornia.org and compassionatepomona.org. And again, that's the whole nice thing about Character Champions. We're always learning. We're always pressing toward that mark. It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing to grow. And I just wanted to say, you know, what Dr. Lauren is saying is so true. I do family therapy with parents and their kids, and they will identify their colors by taking the character qualities, the CQ survey, and then they'll sometimes in a family, someone will be more like Orange Wolf, or someone will be more like Blue Dolphin, or someone will be more like Gold Ant, and then someone will be Green Owl. And that magical moment is when they find that character connection in which they see the value of the differences, and then those family members teach the other family members by coaching them to be more of the color that they're strongest in. So what I love about this model is I'm a champion, you're a champion.
Well, and we at the Charter, we talk about 3D compassion: self, others, and the planet. Three-dimensional compassion. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I'd like to thank Dr. K and her awesome team for their Character Champion story and coloring book. And again, you can find it at the Charter for Compassion website. You scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you'll find a link there. And I want you to know that there are 9 people behind the scenes bringing this program to you, including our Charter's very own champion intern, Zoe.
Aw.
And there's, besides, and then there's Patricia, education and media consultant. And besides Dr. K and Dr. Kosine and Dr. Izzy, I'd like to mention Dr. Pramila, who is a pediatrician, Reverend Jan from Compassionate Pomona as Blue Dolphin, Mary, who's the company vice president, who was our mascot player, Cindy, treasurer as Gold Ant, Joanne, who is steward of Compassionate California, Tara, who is the secretary as Green Owl, board member Kelly, board member Andrew as Orange Wolf, and Don Lowry from Two Colors. This is the 10th anniversary of the Charter for Compassion. It started out as an idea by author and scholar Karen Armstrong, but it became a document then, and now it is a worldwide movement. The Charter has more than 440 member cities around the world with 2,200 organizational partners in 54 countries. Our aim is to spread compassion across the planet. So won't you come and join us? You can actually start your own compassionate city wherever your municipality is. We already represent 9.5 million people across the planet with all of those cities added up. We have a dozen active sectors, too, led by volunteers at the Charter for the arts, business, education, environment, healthcare, religion, interfaith and spirituality, peace, restorative justice, science and technology, social justice, social services, and women and girls. So whatever pulls at your heart or whatever speaks to you, you can come and be part of the Charter for Compassion and be an ambassador on the ground. If you go to the website and you click on the partners drop-down list, you'll find all of those places, and you find a place to join and to receive our newsletter with activities and classes. And then if you'd like to donate, if you like what you saw today and you want more programming that we can feature for you, go and donate at the blue button. And then next week in this space in Creativity Camp, we'll be welcoming author Jennifer Wilhoit from Teal Arbor Stories. And tell your friends, we hope to see you next week. And from the staff board, Global Council sectors and volunteers of the International Charter for Compassion, we want you to take care of yourself, and we want you to please stay safe and healthy.
So come with us to Character Island.
I gotta go, 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 I go to Character Island. I gotta go, 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 I go to Character Island. Life brings stress and strife, and it's here, yes it's here, on Character Island. Making some friends, make things nice, and we're here, yes we're here, on Character Island. To meet the smart green owl, as gold ants wake away, good often making friends, the orange wolf will play, and play, and play. The four-colored forest, there's a character tree, you will see, on Character Island, there are some hidden treasures that hold the keys. Search with me, on Character Island. To meet the smart green owls, as gold ants work away, good often making friends, the orange wolf will play, and play, and play. Tonight, you've never seen such a wonderful sight. All the animals, silhouettes in the light. Showering strings bring stress and fear. Oh, they're here, on Character Island. They rain down darkness on all those near. Oh, they're here, on Character Island. You gotta fight them now, you gotta work away. So we'll be making friends until we win the day. Hey, hey. I gotta go, 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 I go to Character Island. I gotta go, 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 I go to Character Island.
I just want to mention that we will have the link up for this program. Give us a couple of days to get that up for you, and visit the website to find it.
And come join us on the island, the compassionate Character Island, that is. Thanks, Barb.
Thank you.